Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review episode number 30. This is reviewing the second Case Closed film, The 14th Target, released in 1998. Yep, and I just looked up basically, and here's something really weird about one of the characters in this movie. Yeah, get this. Like, in the previous film was the first time he appeared ever in animation, and then he appeared in the canon 2 years later in the Metropolitan Love Story. Yep. So basically for him we get a couple things by him. One is a wine connoisseur, which we already found in the anime, and the fact he's a terrible shot. Yep, he's terrible at shooting. Basically, the plot of the film is somewhat from Richard Moore's past, and we also kind of get the reason why he quit the police force in this film. Apparently, because his wife was taken hostage, and yeah. His wife was taken hostage, and he basically had to shoot her in the leg, though it basically just grazed her, and, he quit because of it. But here's the thing. This scar is never mentioned in the series. Nope. I'm sure when that leg is shown, you probably don't see that scar, and yet appears in this movie. Oh, yeah, and somehow she walks on perfectly fine despite having a scar on her leg. Oh, yeah, and I will explain what happens to Rachel at the end of the movie. Yeah, there's a moment for Amy and Conan here, along with Jimmy and Rachel in this movie. For Amy's moment is that she plays a game, sort of a card game. It's like her true love begins with C, and of course, and you mentioned, maybe move from first base, second base, and you see Conan, Mitch, and George all look shocked at me. It's like, really? Like, oh my gosh, all embarrassed by it. Of course, she's completely clueless basically what A means. Basically a kiss. Which, by the way, Conan has never kissed Amy at all. She's kissed him on the cheek twice, but never on the lips. Yep. So, yeah. Then, of course, also, we have very few people getting attacked in this movie. Versus McGuire, while he's jogging, getting shot in the ribs. And then we have Evie, Rachel's mom. She nearly gets poisoned. And then we have a Goss who gets shot in the butt by an arrow. Yep. And McGuire, basically, despite the fact he's not fully healed yet, he's like, okay, put on my clothes. I'm going out. Despite the fact later in the film he actually opens up his wounds. Yep. By the way, Santos, aka Sorority, he appears in this movie. And he actually appears in a good chunk of the movie, and he's not a useless character. Yep. At least Moore isn't accusing him of murder. And we have various people who basically get attacked. Well, then we move on to another guy who gets attacked. A golfer who's a friend of Richard Moore's. And he nearly gets killed by injecting the wrong eye drops in his eye. Basically, his eye drops got switched. Yeah, his later his eye got switched while he was when his glass got broken in his house. Yep. And then, of course, Conan decided to sneak on the helicopter anyways. This is when Rachel's on the pad. And good thing he's there, so yeah, he's able to fly the helicopter perfectly fine. And here's the thing, he crashes the helicopter in the recess field of the elementary school. Oh yeah, and everybody evacuates the thing, and the thing blows up, causing damage to the school. And here's the weird thing about this. Despite the fact you mentioned about the whole thing of him, his eyes, and the helicopter crash, there is no mention after this of the school being damaged. Yes, the school got damaged because of this exploding helicopter. Did the golfer volunteer to pay for the damages? Never revealed because they don't go back to this plot point. Also, this is the last time we see the Junior Detective League. Yeah, like last one they did something, very little. This movie they did virtually nothing. And of course, because Rachel doesn't want to be the next target, basically she sex with her father and Conan the whole movie. And eventually me with the wine, sort of like a consortium, basically a sommelier, I think it's how you pronounce it. It's someone who actually tastes wine and actually verifies what it is. So apparently this one guy invited out to do a restaurant, invited this new fancy place, which you see a guy briefly via some video footage. Oh, what happens to them? Yeah, he's actually the first person who dies. They later find him dead in the ocean. Yep. Oh yeah, and also they had this photographer there who in the dub is voiced by Christopher Sabat. Yeah, not the first time he voiced a character from this show. No, he voiced a couple of characters in the actual anime, though both times he was the culprit, the guy who he voiced. Kind of say to Eric Vale. Well, at least in the case of this film's that nope, Eric Vale is not voicing the culprit. This time Sabah is basically voicing a okay, big bulky guy, Christopher Sabat. Yeah, he always voices the guys who are big and bulky. Yes. At least he's more clear how much of a man he is, like a lot of our characters in the voice. And he's a photographer. Okay. Would I buy a photographer who looks like a bodybuilder? Yes, I would buy that. I mean, sometimes photographers don't have to be like women or very thin or slightly overweight. They can be bodybuilders too. Yep. By the restaurant, and they have a little taste testing where you have a guy who claims to be a connoisseur, and they have this guy appear briefly prior to this, for like one brief scene. Also, you get cameo by Serena. Yep, 9 movie in a row, she does nothing. She just appears in this one scene. She has less screen time in this film than she did in the last film. Yep. Then, of course, somehow remembers her, and of course, this guy later proved to be one to get there because he tastes his wine. And he's proven to be a fraud. And the Sonchier basically said, try and prove that, yep, he is in fact has the correct taste. Well, they later reveal he has taste disorder, but that's revealed later in the movie. Eventually, the place starts, first the power go out, and they search the place several times. It's a quite interesting scene. I like this thing. We have characters looking around, looking for something, looking for a person. Yep. They don't know that the owner of the place is dead. Nope, no idea. And eventually, because the last movie ended with basically the location where one of the characters was exploding, let's have this place blow up. Yeah, but in the case of the last film, that was part of the plot. This film, it's like, okay, when the heck did he take time to plant all these freaking bombs? Yes, and he blows this place up. And he blows up the thing, basically flooding the thing. Though there's an interesting moment where Rachel gets trapped and Conan has to go basically rescue her, and he basically gets foot caught and he nearly passes. I think Rachel sort of gives him a kiss to give him oxygen, and he uses the suspenders to get a car off her. Yeah, the car was in this dining room. And by the way, I keep thinking they're like, okay, then they get to the surface, and then they swim out of there. This Conan go retrieve the suspenders. Nope, second movie in a row where he basically leaves one of his guys behind. For no reason. He could do a quick little thing, just press a button, unclip it, swim down, do it really quickly. Probably taking no more than maybe like a minute or two. No, let's just leave the damn thing behind. Not even mention they get to the surface, and of course Conan figures out, though via some deductive reasoning, that it was the guy who claimed number 8. He, of course, when they would also have this wine cooler, they went down to apparently that, the thing was not properly kept temperatured, and the guy gets killed with a crossbow. As later turns out, he planted himself. Yep. And then, because of the fact he was revealed to be the actual murderer, of course, the fake connoisseur guy, the guy who basically claims he's a connoisseur, but nope, he's a bogus one, he's a fraud. So, he's really can't swim. And of course, throughout the whole film, apparently Richard Moore is afraid of heights. And yes, in case you're wondering, this is basically referenced in a fellow episode that he overcomes pretty quickly by the end of it. Yep, first time we see is when he's in a helicopter. Second time we see is when he's on the tram, going over the water, and he thinks the other guy probably the same thing. It's similar, but he's afraid because he can't swim, so he just basically afraid to go to water. Okay, fine. Oh yeah, and the photographer guy basically was one who transported him to the surface. Now, name of the other characters are who in this movie. Let's see. You have, let's see, JT Morano, Emilio Couture, Mason Norfolk, Nina Oliver, Chris Ashton, Henry Tish, Kevin Simmons, and Tammy Diaz. hmm Yeah, Tammy Diaz is the one who gets, she gets stabbed. The photographer, Emilio, he's one voiced by Christopher Sabat. Yep. Yeah, but of course I watched the dub for this movie, and yeah. Now, pretty much once they get, of course, they have the sleeping more thing, because, well, gotta have it in this movie, and Conan Hines a pillar, and Rachel basically can barely defend herself. She's basically weak at this moment. So, and it turns out the ace of spades #1 was actually Makudo. Oh yeah, and he reveals the reason why that Simmons decided to try to kill people. The golfer because he embarrassed him. The the owner of the park because he basically is poor maintaining a wine cooler. He says turn in vinegar in a few months. Oh, and Nina. Yep, the reason why he killed her. Here's the reason why. Because basically she basically ruined his life. Basically developing taste disorder. Basically wherever he tries he can't taste anything. Yep. So excuse me. All because he got a head injury so he can't taste anything. So yeah. So basically he's been faking it all along. Yep. So yeah, then he tries to go with Rachel at knife point. If Rachel wasn't weak, basically, she would basically beat the crap out of her, nearly murdering her mother. Yep. And then Santos basically takes out his gun. And of course, Rich Morris asks McGuire's like, how good is your shot? He's, he can shoot press up arm, basically meaning he's a terrible shot. Okay. Then basically he's about to shoot him, puts it in the gun, and then Conan picks it up, tries to give it to him, and then he shoots Rachel in the leg. Though he claims basically the gun just went out by itself, despite the fact he's one really shot her, causing a graze of her leg. Though I think she'll easily forgive him for it. Yep. Of course, the guy's hauled up the gym anyways. And if you're in the post-credit scene, that Evie knew that she got shot on purpose. Yep. So we have a hostage. Yep. This overall is a good movie, and second movie in a row, we have a gossip basically just taken out. At least the case in the last one, he's not standing in a room looking out a window for no reason. This one, he's still in the hospital. At least this one has a reason for him to be taken out of the movie. Last film didn't have a reason why. Also, yeah, Detective Boys, the Junior Detective League, show up for roughly 2 scenes. That's it. Oh, like in last one, they appear for a small chunk of the movie. This film, they just appear for 2 scenes. That's it. They contribute nothing to the story. Not at all. Yep, so basically, aside from these 3, you have just Conan, Richard Moore, Rachel, and Santos. And that's it. Basically about 7, 8 characters. Yep. The next one was when they add the characters who actually already appeared in the series already. And we'll talk about that when I talk about The Last Wizard of the Century. This is a good film. Though, second film in a row, we have to have a building blow up. I don't know why. Hopefully it's not the case with the next film. Okay? So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have 2 videos I'm going to do next. One, of course, will be Comic Corner, and the other, of course, will be another movie review. You'll find out now my Comic Corner will be on 2 DC trades. You'll find out what they are soon. Okay? See you there. Bye.